So this is everything I've done in terms of sales and marketing to get my direct-to-consumer product to over 6 figures in sales within the first year, and also build word of mouth for the brand. If you haven't been watching my recent few videos, then you might not know what I'm talking about. I am referring to my brand RSNV. We make upgrades for high-end Porsches. Launched about 1.5 years ago, and about 6 months before that was when we started to iterate and work on the product. So still relatively new, but that's the business that I'm referring to here. It's direct to consumer. We make the product ourselves, and it's definitely taken off. So in this video, I really just want to break down, how everything we do that leads to sales, and part of that is how we achieve word of mouth, which is probably the most interesting part. In the last video, it was really about the launch. What were the things we did at the beginning to get those customers? This is everything we've done to get all of our customers. So I want to start a bit backwards, actually. Let me start with what we don't do, because I think this is important, and it kind of goes against a lot of typical common best practices even in e-commerce. First off, we don't do any discounting, or you could say devaluing. We have a strong positioning with this product. This comes through the design, the branding, the way we market, our voice as a brand. And we're not running sales and email blasts every 4 weeks. We're not doing 4th of July sales. We're not doing any of that, actually. We don't do any discounting. Maybe the rare, extremely unique situation, as I'll get into stuff with influencers later in the video, but we don't do any public-facing discounting ever at all. Our core product is $999. This is not cheap. This is something that we're positioned as premium. It's the real deal. It's not something that's going on 40% off every other day, so that then nobody ever buys it at full price. The price is fair. It's actually a really good deal when you look at everything, all the competition. It makes the most sense by far, which is why we've just hit it out of the park and become the clear, obvious choice for which one to choose for this core product. We also generally don't do paid social media. I'll get into one channel that we do, but in general, none at all. And that's because our current offerings are so specific. I mean, we're talking about just the GT4. We're not talking about cars that are all over the place. So our potential customers are really focused. So just blasting Facebook ads, Instagram ads is not going to be effective, because we need to find very particular customers. So we need to find them where they are. They already are out there as a potential customer. We just need to get in front of them. We can't just blast 1 million people and hope that some are our customers. We also don't do wholesale. This was a decision from the beginning. Just wanted to be direct to consumer, honestly, not even have the margin built in to be able to do, 40-50% off, something like that. That was part of how we were able to just get our price to be so appealing to our customers. So yeah, no wholesale. This is all about direct to consumer sales. And one last little thing before I just get into this list of everything we've done is, we're in the automotive space, and you're watching a video about marketing and Shopify, direct to consumer, online business, stuff like that. You're generally competing with other marketers, right? And we are competing generally with an automotive shop that makes things in-house, welding stuff together, forging stuff, painting stuff. It's a little more of this craft thing and a little more old school. And so by us getting into this, my background being in e-commerce, my friend and business partner, his background being in engineering products for scale, for products that end up in the hands of millions of people. So I really see us as a product company, a company that designs and manufactures products to an exact specification and just knocks it out every single time with a consistent product experience. Whether it's 1 a month or 10 a day, it would be the same. Kind of building this for scale rather than this just we just make parts and we throw it in a box and we have a really old website and occasionally we make a sale and then we ship it out to them. We take it to the local FedEx and that's it. But yeah, I want to say that because I think it makes a big difference. Finding a niche where you're not just competing with the world's best marketers makes a massive difference, because a lot of stuff can fall into place much easier. So a lot of our sales, especially in the first 6 months, required one-on-one communication with people. And this is not scalable, right? Keep in mind, this is a high price point product. It's $1,000 per sale. You don't need to sell that many for it to be relatively significant, right? So especially in the early days, people need to trust a high-end product from a new company. So a lot of people had questions first, and it wasn't even necessarily super technical questions. It was just like they just want to hear a reply to make sure they're not just sending money off to who knows what. So and obviously we'll get into where these inbounds came from and all the other things, but just want to put this one first because so many of the sales so many of the customers would contact us first on Instagram, on email, and it makes sense because it's an expensive product and people just want to be sure. They want to have, there's little concerns that they have that you need to alleviate. And generally it's been an incredibly easy sell. Like these people don't really need selling to. It's just like, do you have it? Yes, then they buy or whatever. Like it can be super simple, and then all of a sudden they spend $1,000 with you. And also, I think part of this is because it's a high price point product. Some people just take a really long time. They don't, nobody's going to see an ad and buy this product within 5 minutes. I mean, maybe some will, but generally some of these people are thinking about it for months. Like I've literally had people that have DM'd with me and then at this point, a year later almost, end up buying. So sometimes it's just a long cycle, which I see as an incredible pro too, because I know that all these seeds that I'm planting today will lead to a sale a month from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 18 months from now. It's just all building this massive snowball. Okay, so Instagram. I'll kind of split this into active and passive in a way. Active, I would say, is like the hustling, right? This was going, and still is, going into hashtags related to the cars that our products are for, engaging with those potential customers, following them, commenting on them, answering questions if it's relevant to our product in some way, just really like immersing into the community of where these people already are. That's been absolutely huge. Now, on the active side, I would say that's what we're putting out. We're super lucky to have already kind of achieved this web of word of mouth and people sharing. And also it's just the nature of the space that people like to post pictures of their car when they have a high-end car, especially if there's somebody that's into modifying and stuff like that. So our customers are just constantly tagging us, constantly sending us literally professional pictures that they paid for a photo shoot for their car. So this is all content that we're repurposing, reposting, using on our own feed, posting on our story, just all day, every day. I mean, just look at our Instagram at rsnv.co. Like, I'm blown away by how much user-generated content we get. I mean, there's like too much to even post. It's kind of crazy. And we also built this into the product experience itself. It comes in a really cool box. I'll probably do a video just like showing the product experience, unboxing sort of experience, if you want to see that. But that was kind of built in, and a lot of our customers will literally show like the unboxing process on their Instagram story. Then they'll post the finished thing on their feed and send us a bunch of pictures. And then they keep posting pictures of their car every day or every week forever. So we just have this constant flow of content, which is pretty wild. So yeah, Instagram kind of evolved and kind of has two sides. One is that like hustling one-to-one, looking for potential customers. And the other is posting and sharing about the product, which has evolved to be almost entirely user-generated content at this point. Sometimes it's pictures we take of our customers if we're at meetups and stuff I'll get into later. Sometimes it's been my own car, but for the most part, they are user-generated. Okay, Facebook groups. This has definitely been one of the bigger ones for us. We also have our own Facebook group, which is just for customers that we verify. So only people that have spent money with us go into this group. And then we do use that to offer the next products to our past customers. And that's the only time we'll ever really do a discount. Will be like a pre-launch thing, something like I mentioned in my last video. And at this point, now that we have a customer base, we're essentially only doing it not only for pre-launch, but only for pre-launch and only for past customers. So it keeps it super tight, kind of like an exclusive little club of sorts. So that can help for kicking off a new product. But for the most part, when I say Facebook groups, the strategy has been going into existing Facebook groups for owners of these cars, like Porsche Cayman GT4 Facebook groups. There's a handful of them. And interestingly, none of them really seem to mind too much about companies posting in there, as long as they're not spamming like crazy. So I do it very, very minimally. For the most part, it's just engaging with people when they're talking about aspects of their car that would relate to our products, or if people are posting something with our products already, just engaging and showing up and being there adds a lot. Occasionally doing a featured post myself where I'm showing off a customer's car that's super wild and crazy or something that's unique. But yeah, just being in the community, you know, this is such a focused community, and to be able to just insert ourselves. And I should mention again, I was already in this community, right? I already owned a Porsche Cayman GT4. So it's very easy for me to just become part of that community because I already was and I already understood it. So yeah, Facebook groups were a huge part of, like, when I say going to where the community already was, Facebook groups were definitely a core piece of that. And another one that was like that and is Renlist. So this is a Porsche forum. We are a paid forum sponsor, which allows us to post about our products. So the strategy there has been, again, engaging with and commenting on anything that's relevant to our products in some way, or people considering the broad category of that product, like not just us specifically, engaging there. And then also doing like featured posts when we have new products or on our old products. And these threads are constantly being bumped with questions and things like that. So a lot of new discovery is happening there for sure. We've also worked with influencers a decent amount. I wouldn't say this is, you know, number one by any means, but especially lately it's been bigger. We've been really lucky to have some really big ones. The biggest one ever was just very recent. If you're a car enthusiast yourself, you probably know of Shmi. He's got probably one of the biggest car YouTube channels in general, and he happens to have a car that is compatible with one of our parts, so we did something really special for him. He mentioned us like 100 times across like 4 different videos. Like, it was insane how good his response was. And this, working with influencers, I'm no expert, but we've had very mixed results, but his was just blew me out of the water, like how good to work with he was, and just how much he really mentioned us and didn't forget to like thank us in every little spot and like show it and, you know, reference back to it. Just incredible. Like, definitely one of my proudest moments in starting this whole brand has been working with Shmi. So that was a big one. We've also had Obsessed Garage. That was wild and crazy, awesome too. We've also had Cars with Luke. He was actually the first 718 GT4 in the world, I believe, to have wing risers aftermarket on it, and they were ours in the video, and that was really cool. But there's not that many influencers that have these cars necessarily because it is so specific. So don't get me wrong, we're definitely not just like sending these out and paying people left and right to do it. Like, we've actually not, well, I don't know how many specifics I should get into. I don't know if these influencers want things revealed or whatever, but we're not really paying. We just, you know, we work something out, right? But it's, for the most part, they're pretty pumped because they're getting an awesome product. So, and it's a product that they want genuinely for their car, because everyone that has this car wants this product. Okay, next channel, and this is what I kind of referenced at the beginning of a paid channel. We do run Google ads, and the reason we run Google ads as opposed to Facebook ads or Instagram ads is because it's query based, right? So we can target a specific keyword that somebody is typing in that is just obviously straight up lined up to, like, they're looking for our product, right? Or they're looking for our product generally, or they're even searching for our brand. So those ones just make sense to put some budget behind. And this is not an insane amount, but we do run them because it just wouldn't make sense not to. Like, if they're already searching for this product, we might as well be showing up at the top. This is both the product ads on Google and like the text ones. But that's really the only regularly paid channel. I guess being a forum sponsored, I could also include as paid. That's something that we're kind of paying monthly to be a forum sponsor. I'm sure this is an area I could grow more. Doing the tracking is a little tricky for sure, especially because some of these people buy so much later. So I kind of see it as a brand awareness thing. Even though the metrics do look really great, I just know that it's helping us spread the word in ways that are not measurable as well, just with more and more people hearing about it, especially the right people that are searching for these things. Even with influencers, most of the audience of their videos aren't our potential customers, but they're going to mention it at a Cars and Coffee meetup to somebody that is an owner or their friend or whatever. Like, it just kind of helps build that snowball all around. Next one is pretty unique. Don't know if I've heard people talking about this on YouTube, but we don't do wholesale, but we do use drop shippers a little bit. And these are not your YouTube dropshipper guru people by any means. What we do is, since we don't offer wholesale, when a really legit company in our space asks for wholesale, we explain that, we're direct to consumer, we don't have the margin for that, but we do have a few relationships with curated, selected companies where we allow them to offer our product for sale and then essentially give what I would say is more like a commission on the sale to them when a sale comes through them. So I'll name a couple, like Soul Performance Products has been great for us, Flat Six Motorsports. So these really, these companies that we have the same customer bases, but it overlaps. They don't directly compete with us or anything like that. It just makes a lot of sense. So that has been a really interesting channel to effectively use dropshippers. They can take the sale and then we'll just ship directly to their client. That's been, not a massive, huge part of the business, but it's definitely been pretty substantial. Another marketing channel has been pretty grassroots, old school, but local. There's a lot of meetups for cars, especially cars like these. For a while, Porsche Experience Center was doing one when I was still in LA, or there's just Cars and Coffee every weekend. My personal GT4 has been completely decked out with RS&V stripe down the side, Instagram tags on the windows, obviously all of the RS&V products on it, so it kind of showcases it. So just driving around and parking at these meetups where there's other potential owners, it definitely the car gets tagged on Instagram, people are taking photos, like other potential customers are seeing my car. Maybe they've already heard of it and then they see it in person. So that one's like not necessarily measurable, but I know that it's led to a lot. We've even done some group drives where we had, 10 plus cars with our products on it lined up, which was pretty cool. I've even offered to, for local people just to bring the product and then hand deliver it at a car meet or something like that. I've done that quite a few times, which is cool to just, again, kind of immerse ourselves in the community, which overarching lesson is, I think that's kind of the key. We've immersed ourselves into this community, a community that was already there. And this community happens to be one that shares the product so much anyways. So all these things came together in some sort of synergy to create word of mouth. And, the coolest thing I've probably ever seen since starting this was, a post in a Facebook group, like one of those ones I'd referenced. There'd be a post that's saying hey, what do you guys think about wing risers? Which one should I get? And, there are literally posts that would be the comments would just be RS&V, 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 RS&V. It'd be crazy. Like 20 plus people would be saying to go for us. And that is a really cool feeling. So yeah, this is what's worked so far. And it's not like there was just one magic bullet trick, but I think that these all have come together in a unique way. And this is what we're going to keep doing. If you watch this far, I appreciate it. Definitely smash the like button if you got this far, and subscribe if you have not already. Let me know in the comments what you want to see more of, whether it's RS&V related or something different. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video soon.